Hey guys, it's Maren and welcome back to another weekly tarot and astrology forecast. So this is for the week of August 25th through the 31st. And we'll start out with pulling a spread of tarot cards to see what the energy is for the collective for the week. Then we'll look into the astrology and we'll round it all back up with an oracle deck spread to see how the two combine and guidance for the week ahead. So starting out, we'll pull a Celtic cross spread, and today I'm just going to be using the basic Rider-Waite tarot deck. I'm actually in an astrology tarot course, and they got us to be using the normal Rider-Waite-Smith original tarot deck, basically the classic that a lot of people start with. I actually had never used this deck until this course asked me to get it so we could all learn tarot and astrology together, and I've been playing around with it, and it's been fun to see how this deck interacts differently than other decks. So we'll go ahead and pull the Celtic cross spread, starting out with shuffling the deck and then dividing it into 3 separate decks. So I just shuffle it like playing card deck. I know some other card readers have told me not to shuffle it like that, but I'm not sure if that's just so the cards don't bend or if there's like an actual, thing against shuffling like that. But just starting out shuffling around. So this is a really interesting mix for the spread we have for the Celtic cross here. A lot of both major and minor arcana cards came up, and we'll get right into figuring out what this is all telling us. So the first card we actually have here is the 8 of Cups reversed. This is the card representing the situation at hand, and it was reversed, so it came out like this. And the 8 of Cups card itself generally has to do with leaving great joy or leaving the fruits of your creation. So with the reversed, it kind of inverts that meaning and is representing us stepping into this enjoyment. The situation that's coming for this week is actually a really great enjoyment and a really great fulfillment that we're coming into. Second card that we have here is the Strength card. The Strength card often has to do with power and stepping into getting the ball rolling and things happening ourselves. So this situation that's really fulfilling and really happy and really awesome that we're stepping into, we're creating it for ourselves. We're not necessarily waiting for it to happen. We are the agents of our own strength here. Third card here represents the potential for the situation, and we have the Hanged Man. So with the Hanged Man, it's generally kind of like what I like to think of is a door closing for another door opening, or a trial turning into a new possibility. So stepping into this fulfilling situation might come from a decision that you make to take a challenging route, but challenging because it's new and different, not because it's inherently a struggle. The card deals with the recent past, and the Chariot generally deals with recent conquering of a situation or coming out of having to prove yourself for something, becoming an authority out of proving yourself. So what we may have just come out of has been a time period of having to kind of climb the ladder or make ourselves known. And then after we pass what seems to be like a final test here, the universe is like, okay, here you go. The 6th card deals with the future from this outcome. It's the 4 of Cups reversed. 4 of Cups generally is kind of a discontent energy of not feeling like you are worthy or content with what you have. So with it actually reversed, again, it's interesting that the reversed cards we're getting are reversals of more difficult energy, which makes them, the inverted meaning, a bit more positive. We're having new relations or new situations that bring us novelty and appreciation for what's happening. The 7th card in this spread actually represents you, the person who the situation is happening to. And with the 6 of Wands reversed, it can generally deal with apprehension. We might be apprehensive of crossing this boundary, crossing this gateway, and seeing what's on the other side. This is fear of our own doing for what the emptiness of the unknown is. But we can realize with this knowledge here that the fear is coming from us. It's not an outside source in this instance. The 8th card deals with the outside influences on our journey here, and it's the 5 of Wands, which, if you look at the card, has a bunch of young boys fighting. And that energy of youth fighting is what's encapsulated in this card. So the outside circumstances that are going on around us it's kind of like this hustle to get to the top, that we are kind of observing how other people are fighting and feeling like there's not enough and feeling like they have to beat others, where we can instead choose to simply do our thing and be ourselves and know that there's enough to go around. It represents our hopes or fears on this journey, and we have the 6 of Swords here. The 6 of Swords represents the journey. As you can see, it's this ferryman guiding his way through water. So what we're hoping for is the journey, is the guidance, is the appreciation of going on the path, not simply reaching for the end goal. So this is a really beautiful card representing what we're hoping to get out of this situation we're in, that we're seeing it as the journey and we're not attaching to the end goal. And if you are kind of worried about what the end result is, this is a reminder to focus on the journey. Final 10th card here represents the outcome, and we have the Page of Wands, which is the epitome of Wands energy of new ideas and creating magic. So the Page of Wands is delivering favorable news. It's this young man delivering what we want to hear, but it's unexpected. So the outcome of this situation, after we go through kind of the final test or the final gateway into the unknown, that is awesome, but we don't know it's awesome yet. The awesomeness is really unexpected, and this is new and refreshing, and it's not something we necessarily need to plan on knowing, but we can trust that it is really welcomed. It's really welcomed by what we need. So knowing what we do now, let's take a look at the astrology. Let's take a look at what the day-by-day, play-by-play is going to be like for the situation of having kind of like a final test, and then jumping into the unknown that ends up being really beautiful and eye-opening. So on Sunday, the 25th, the moon is in Gemini, and it's technically void of course. And void of course, there's several different definitions for this. I'm using the definition of until the end of the rest of its time in Gemini, it's not making any more aspects to other planets. So with void moons, generally because they aren't seeing or touching other planets, there aren't definite conversations we can plan on. So allow the mind to wander, allow your day to be more guided by intuition or what you're feeling like. Don't count on being super productive, or don't count on necessarily sticking to plans on void of course moon days. But later that day, the moon will move into Cancer, which makes the mood a bit deeper. It brings up more emotions rather than thoughts. So count on kind of a brainstorming day and then a more emotional stay-at-home kind of night on Sunday. Monday the 26th opens with Venus trining Uranus, which is an aspect of supreme harmony connecting a planet of values and love and harmony with a planet regarding the unexpected, the revolutionary, the surprise. So we might find ourselves having pleasure in the unexpected. We might find ourselves drawn aesthetically to what's really beautiful in a really weird way, or we might just find ourselves like, I don't know, a good example of Venus trine Uranus would be going for a really weird kind of massage, like something that is really awesome and nice, but you're not really expecting enjoying at the moment. So this really tunes into the idea that we have of stepping into the unknown and not knowing that it's going to be awesome until we do it. So if there's something that you know you would enjoy, or you have been playing with the idea of, but you haven't taken the plunge yet, Monday would be a good day for that. The moon in Cancer will oppose Saturn though, so this is the limitation that's coming up. This is the fear of, oh my gosh, can I handle trying something new? Do I need to stick to the familiar discomfort, or can I trust that basically anything will feel better than the grind I'm in right now? It's breaking past limitation because we're coming so front up close to it. If you're afraid of spending the money on something, step into the abundance mindset and spend the money anyway. If you are scared of the way that other people will see you when you do something, do it to the utmost degree. The moon will conjoin the North Node as well and trine to Neptune, so let your dreams lead the way, not the little voice in the back of your head saying that, think about this. Tuesday the 27th, the moon moves into Leo, brings the mood definitely into a more performative, lighthearted moon. When the moon is in Cancer like it is on Monday, it's kind of beat up by a lot of Capricorn planets right now, and we can get pretty down on ourselves. So with the moon in Leo, it makes us more performative, more engaging. And the first decan of Leo is actually Saturn ruled. So it's a good day to think of how you are embodying seriously who you are. Are you stepping into this unknown with the knowledge that you are meant to be here? And maybe think of playing the character that is most authentic to you, because if you have to feel like you're putting on a show, make sure it's a fun show. Like, to a certain extent, we have to perform. We have to present ourselves in a certain light in order to feel authentic. Like, we can't just, being ourselves does require a certain amount of effort in determining what that is, kind of. Oh my god, there's construction in my apartment. I don't know if you can hear it, sorry. So make sure that the embodiment that you're choosing is respectful and playful and not too serious. Wednesday the 8th, Mars will then trine Uranus. So Mars in Virgo will trine Uranus in Taurus, and this is connecting the planet of action with that unexpected quality as well. So we're kind of activating this assertive energy to be motivated in an unexpected way. Maybe you're stepping into that gateway because, like in the cards, how it showed that we are the ones making this change and making this big shift. Maybe an unexpected download of like, I need to do this, I need to go here, I need to decide to sign this contract or make this plan. Follow that intuition, do the things before you think of how they're going to be received. This is Mars, not Venus. The moon also in Leo will then trine Jupiter, which is this awesome aspect of supreme harmony, spurring us to follow our excitement. There is optimism going towards these efforts. Sure, there is a bit of fear still there about like, what are people going to think of me? What am I going to do? But there's so much momentum behind you that you can embrace, and you can move forward with knowing that you're following your excitement here. Thursday the 29th, the moon in Leo is unaspected for most of the day. As it completes its time in Leo, it's not really facing anything. So first part of the day on Thursday, just enjoy the ride, enjoy the newness of whatever you're stepping into, find fun and optimism and performance a bit in the first part of the day. And then the moon enters Virgo later on, and it'll conjoin Mercury in Virgo, the planet it's ruled by. So expect that night to take on quickly a shift towards focusing on practical matters. The moon Mercury conjunction will trine Uranus and Taurus, so expect before you go to bed, you get this unexpected rush of like, I need to make a to-do list for tomorrow. Just go with it and do the detail-oriented organization that you feel like you need to do. A lot of stepping into this new energy means being practical about it, and if you're following your excitement, there's often steps you need to take along the way to make sure that you have a foundation to settle into the excitement and not fall through impulsivity or not fall through recklessness. So as you're stepping into authentic, friendly, fun roles, make sure that you are stable in the steps you're making to get there. Friday the 30th is the new moon in Virgo, and there are 5 planets within 9 degrees of each other in Virgo. The sun is in Virgo, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, they're all in Virgo, and it's a very Virgo day. I'm here for it. So there's a big critical eye up for grabs. There might be the tendency towards nitpickiness, but new moons are times of new beginnings, so use this extreme focused energy to get something done. And if you know your natal chart, look to that house that it's hitting you at for what needs some fall cleaning, some back to school organization. Trines to Uranus and the Capricorn planets mean that even though this is probably unexpected, it's very grounded and long-term oriented, and that's a really great thing to have. So let this ground you into the unexpected. Even though there is an opposition to Neptune from all the planets in Virgo, just be wary that maybe you don't have an end goal, and that's okay. We don't need to have an end goal to enjoy the journey. Like we're saying, Neptune oppositions can often indicate not knowing where the journey is taking you and kind of having to relinquish control and be like, I'm here for the ride, I'm not going to zone out, I'm not going to delude myself, I'm going to relinquish control but not relinquish responsibility. So that's something to keep in mind with Friday the 30th for whatever new projects you're starting under the new moon. Finally, on Saturday the 31st, there's honestly not that much new. Like, the shit is still in Virgo. It's still pretty much this new moon energy of newness. So whatever you started on Friday, the day before, the new product, the organization, the cleaning, just know that that is still happening, know that it's still carrying on. The opposition to Neptune is a bit tighter, so make sure that you aren't failing to take any action either out of laziness or out of fear of being imperfect. We can learn from Virgo to be detail-oriented, but not to fall into the trap of perfectionism, and trusting that the perfection is the journey. It is what we're being taken on into this newness that will end up being really beautiful. So last thing we'll do here is we'll pull a head, body, heart spread from my favorite Work Your Light Oracle deck. This has been the one I've been playing with for the past few weeks. My Reiki healer friend uses it, and it's really awesome. So with these cards, I don't shuffle these. I just simply pick 3 out of the deck, 1 for head, body, and for heart. And this will sum up some guidance and some intentions for the week. So we have our 3-card head, body, heart spread here. And the first card we pulled is You're Already Doing It. Stop overthinking, facing your true north. Which, according to the tarot spread and the astrology, is so resonant. Like, you're already doing it. You are on the path. You're on the journey. When we go on trips and when we take travel plans, we don't doubt that the end destination is there. We don't go on a trip to Mexico doubting if Cancun exists. So in the same vein, just because you're on this journey without knowing where the flight is landing, don't doubt that the flight is going to land. And that even though you're in this unknown path, stop overthinking, stop Virgo analyzing, and simply Virgo serve. The body card we pulled here is the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? And with body, this can either deal with like literally what's happening with each of our bodies and our physical relationship to that, or it can deal with how we're using our energy in our day-to-day matters as well. So if we're clinging on to a method of routine or interacting with the world or taking care of ourselves that is just simply not serving us, if we need to upgrade into a better way of like the Virgo, serving ourselves, serving our health, serving our self-care, don't cling on to coping mechanisms or habits or situations that you know just aren't for your highest good and for your physical vessel. If you're in a job or a relationship that's taking a toll on you physically, like it's just not ideal for how you want to live your life, take this as maybe another part of this jumping into the unknown and trusting that even though you're familiar with that discomfort, it's familiar discomfort. It's not comfortable, it's just familiar. So even if it's scary to step into the new, it has to be better than the things that are happening right now if you're aware that there needs to be an upgrade. This final card we pulled here for the heart is share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So we're being asked with our heart to share our voice, not from a space of thought, but from a space of feeling from the heart. Coming out of our cave, that we've probably been in this cave of dark patterns and dark routine that we thought we needed to do to serve ourselves for a long time, which were really persecution, which were really giving our power away as ourselves. And we don't need to necessarily gain our power back. We just need to see the power in why we gave our power away and understanding that that was part of the journey. And that now by sharing that journey, by being open about where we are kind of in limbo, where we don't know where we're headed next, but we know we're heading somewhere great. If we share that, if we're open about coming out of the cave, if we're open to exploring and verbalizing our openness, the solid foundation will come when we are vulnerable and giving up control. So by us relinquishing this tight grip, somehow then the cement can land peacefully beneath our feet. And we can find more stability in accepting the instability in this moment than we can by trying to create stability by leaning into control or leaning into the past simply because it's the past and what we know. So if we think less with the mind and more we lean into the emotions of the heart, there's more flexibility, there's more buffering to find steady air than if it's a rigid ride. So with these three cards, with the astrology and with the other spread with the tarot, this is really signifying that we're coming out of what we know is a dark time and we're taking those final tests before the universe is like, okay, here's the new. There's this limbo between like, yeah, we've left this old shit behind, so what's next? The what's next, we really can't expect that, and it's not going to be as we've planned, and so it's probably best if we don't expect anything. We stick to the past, we stick to the path, we stick to the journey, we see the journey as the destination in and of itself as the whole ride, and we trust that we can stick our nose into the grindstone, into typical Virgo nature and taking care of ourselves, but we don't have to focus on the end goal. The manifestation will play out based on our energy to serve and to take care of ourselves. So I hope that this all was helpful, that it resonated. If you did find it helpful, I do offer private consultations down below and would love to read for you. I am an astrologer, and I also am offering astro-mentoring and lots of different things down below. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in the next video.